This all started with a hole in the ground that was covered by 2 bricks that the inspector didn't touch.
The inspectors basically said, oh, there was something there, so we couldn't see it. It's not our problem.
That beam was supposed to support this house. The fact that I could take that out with my hand is nuts.
Not the way to do a window, folks.
We have mold in the front of the house. We have mold in the side of the house. The basement has a lot of mold.
Like, I feel like we really got duped on this house, and it's just...
Fred and Sarah bought their very first home downtown in a nice neighborhood. Now, something different. The seller had a pre-arranged home inspection to the buyer, something I don't see too often. I like that. However, at 100, 120 years old, something could be wrong. Well, obviously, something is wrong, and I'm gonna make it right.
The neighborhood was the first thing. We just happened to be walking through one day. Love the neighborhood.
It doesn't feel like you're downtown. You know, you see the beautiful big trees, you see young children playing, you see people walking their dogs. It definitely felt like an area where you'd want to grow and where you'd want to start a family.
This was one of the sort of unmodernized houses, so we thought, well, this is a great place for us to start and make it our own.
I loved that there was a little backyard, and there's area for us to sit outside and enjoy the outdoor weather. You know, we have a great size bedroom, which was, you know, important for me. I didn't want to feel cramped moving from a condo. And we have a great
the
main bathroom. We have an antique tub, and I really love it. I just thought it had great character. The potential of this house was phenomenal.
The fireplace right behind me is one of the things that clinched it for me. I love having a wood-burning fireplace. I've had one since I was a child, and I think Sara had one as well, and it brings back memories, and we kind of want to make this like our family space right here.
We basically went through, you know, making sure the house was sound and solid. You know, we had a roof inspection done, we had a termite inspection done. The previous owners did have the house inspected, but we were able to pay for a walkthrough where they would go over the entire report with us as well as walk through the home with us. So in a sense, it was almost like, you know, a second inspection going over everything. At the end of the day, we were told this was a solid house. It was in good shape. It was gonna last for, you know, years to come.
They use words like solid and this is normal and this is good, and exactly like Sara was saying, and just basically reassured us that we were getting into something that was almost, the way they put it, it almost seemed like flawless. But unfortunately, that didn't turn out to be the case.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Sara.
Sara, oh, Mike, nice to meet you.
Hi, Fred.
Fred, pleasure to meet you. This is such a charming neighborhood.
Oh, it's great.
I really like this. Can I come in?
Yeah, come on in, absolutely.
Thank you.
We're cleaning out the air conditioner, which was just filled with leaves and dirt, and cleaning out the backyard a bit. So I was using the hose. My dad was sweeping and cleaning, and the amount of water we were using was not accounted for on the ground. And then we found a pile of bricks, which we thought were just spare bricks for the interlocking brick in the backyard. I moved them and found a hole in the cement, which you could see visibly that the foundation was damaged through this hole.
So we called the inspection company back, and, you know, we told them the situation, and we felt that this was something that they should have found the hole. I mean, it's a hole.
The inspectors basically said, oh, there was something there, so we couldn't see it. It's not our problem.
So the bricks were like this, yes?
They were stacked up. I put that plastic bag just to help a little bit. They obviously can't cut.
Well, it's not going to help a lot because the concrete runs in this direction, and no matter how you look at this, the downspout runs in this direction, down to the weeper. Water is going to go down. I'm surprised you're not flooding in the basement. If they move the bricks, there's a hole here. What do I see in the hole? What is that right there? See the mesh there with that's the lath and the stucco that they put over top of it. At the time, that's how the houses were finished here.
There were vague mentions of we can't see behind concealed this and concealed that. But I mean, this is not like tearing a wall down or even moving a heavy couch or anything. This is just looking and maybe moving a rock.
Since I have the tools, let's actually take a look. Oh dear, oh, that really goes deep. Okay, that's a lot of water going down somewhere that's not in a drain. Let's go inside.
Okay. Water coming into our house. What does that mean? Does that mean mold? You know, that's a huge concern.
It's wet. That's mold. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, you know what? Anything I break, I'm gonna fix. This is not a home inspection. This is a Holmes inspection. Electrical, duct tape, another 1001 use. Purge valve on a gas meter, electrical. Not allowed in this area. If they move the bricks, there's a hole here. And with my camera showing all kinds of debris and all stuff that's fallen down there, and actually my camera went down pretty deep, where the hell's that water going? That fireplace was immediately questionable.
Yeah.
Not a standard spot for a brick fireplace. It's always on one side and never in the center. I definitely want to see the basement, and I'm kind of hoping that we have continuous structure right down to the basement floor underneath this. Have we used this fireplace?
We actually heard from our neighbors about having issues with her fireplace, and so it kind of did make us nervous.
Well, I'm glad. So normally what we do, and it is in the report, by the way, is to have a fireplace specialist come in and take a look and make sure that it's usable, it's safe before you light a fire. Did you do that?
We have not done that.
Okay, that would have been highly recommended, especially a wood-burning fireplace. This did catch my eye. The rag, you had I take it you put it in here to stop a draft.
I put it in there to stop the draft, yes.
That wasn't in the report.
No.
Okay, that's an extremely wet rag. So what it's doing is moisture is definitely getting in there, and it's obviously rotted the wood. The trim on the bottom of the sill here is not directed down. If you think about it, the snow's gonna sit on there, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Just like the rain's gonna sit on and absorb that wet. More than likely, it's leaking under there, which has now the possibility of mold in here, and that's just one spot right here. The mold, number one spots, windows, bottom, doors. I see a brand new set of stairs.
Yes.
There's no permit for the stairs on this house. Doesn't mean it's not good, because these are actually very fancy, expensive stairs. But what caught my eye, let's walk that way, was how they tied into the front, where they cut. See the throat that they've taken off here?
Yep.
It's a very tight throat. On the top, because they cut that throat out so much, I'd rather see more against the top. In this case, it's this way. We have less against the top and more on the bottom. So that's a pivot point here that really pushes on the stringers. They did it again on these stringers. Look at this. There's nothing on these stringers that come up, ties into absolutely nothing. It's relying on the top tread to be locked against the platform. Too much weight on those stairs. Let's say these bolts are not good enough, we'll actually collapse these stairs in. Now, I noticed that in the report they say they're not responsible for structural issues or what to look at, but I see this.
This is in plain view.
I'll tell you this. Talk about that window that's directly above here. The point is that we know the moisture will continue to travel down here, and right now I don't really see any signs. Oh, yes, I do.
You could see that the wall was actually starting to crumble away. It was all starting to crack, mainly because of the water damage. The more that, we looked at it, you could touch the wall and you could feel that it was soft. Fred even touched it one time and his hand went right through the wall. It was so soft, and we actually ended up starting to see mold.
That's mold.
I'm actually a cancer survivor, and so when I hear mold, although I'm better now, the fact that there could be mold in our home, the fact that mold could have been a contributor to why I was sick in the first place, it's a concern.
Let's not panic.
Okay, it's just a lot of
I'm not
knowledge.
seeing anything yet that's a big worry for the mold.
Okay, good. That's good news.
Nothing yet. Did you light a fire in this one?
We have.
And?
There wasn't any problems until recently. Our neighbor told us that when we did have a fire in here, she could smell smoke in her house.
That's not a good sign.
No, and that really scared us, so we haven't since
That's
then.
not a good sign since you're joined to each other, and there's 3 houses that are joined. How many houses?
Three, and we're in the middle.
Okay, so that if a fire started, it would burn down all 3 houses, and I'm sure your neighbors wouldn't like you.
This is where Fred noticed the water coming through when he was outside cleaning the house.
On this side here?
Yes.
Yeah, you can see on the bottom of the wood, the bookshelves, you can't
I
really
can
tell.
see it across the floor. I
Across
can
the
see
floor.
buildup.
Yeah, I came in here and I stepped in a puddle of water.
Okay.
We actually took down these ceiling tiles.
Definitely electrical issues. Too many wires in that box.
That's-
like way too many. There's 6 there.
Better than it was, to be honest. I came in this room and we found exposed wires. My dad he knows a little bit about electrical. He's an electrical engineer. And he looked up and he just touched, he's like, I'm gonna touch this and you see what happens basically. And then he touched it and I saw an arc and then the whole floor went black.
You know, one thing's for sure. A lot of electrical has got to be checked in this house.
If they just stuck their finger up there and pushed that tile up, they would have seen those wires just hanging there, sitting there.
I'll leave it there. I'm gonna get my tools. I'm gonna go through this house and I'm gonna show you what I found. That is a veneer brick, isn't it? I see a face brick here, a face brick here. So the only real structure load on this is the floor, and the floor can hold it. These are solid bricks. Just wanted to see if I see a clear run up to the top. The soot buildup. Okay, you know what? This fireplace may need to be cleaned. So this is a recommendation. I am gonna bring in my people to take a look at it, and they can tell me what they think. One of the very first things I noticed when I came in the house was the registers on the wall. Let's go down first. Holy cow, that whole thing is actually what? Does that look plugged to you? That looks plugged to me. That's drywall strip from the edge of the 2 pieces of drywall. We have drywall pieces in there. So are we actually getting heat coming out of there? So now I point this upwards. Look at how dirty the ductwork is. It means they haven't been cleaned in quite a long time. Clean the ductwork so we don't have fibers or spores flying through the air that can infect your breathing. Great way to check your flooring is to pull out your floor register. A home inspector's not even supposed to do that. But what do we see? Holy cow. This has got to be 3 inches above the original floor. Here's the original floor height right here. We have the metal lath. We have a definite concrete mix, thin set mix. It appears to be a ceramic tile. And then we have a void. They strapped the floor. All these layers should have been pulled out before they retiled. We'll continue our voyage. I'm not gonna do anything in here. I just know I'm gonna tell Damon to pull this out. Pull this down, pull this out. The glass is a safety issue for me, the mirrors. The reason I want this out is really simple. This is where the water's coming in the corner of the foundation. I wanna see in behind this. That hole tells me there's enough water coming in that could warrant mold issues. They did have mold checked at the bottom down here, and they said it can easily be cleaned with surface mold, but what they didn't check was behind it, and I'm gonna. This is the area where the gas line comes in, and this is the area that opened up to outside. Well, everyone's used it as a run for gas, for electrical, for communications, for water. And it's an area that shows we have water coming in. We want to keep the water out of the house, that's for sure. That wasn't in the report. Look at the junction box hidden in the corner there. See that one right there? Never mind this one that's right in front of us. How about that one that's just slipped right up in the corner? I've seen enough of this place. I need to call Damon. When I first saw this fireplace, my concern was that this was solid brick.
Right.
I mean, look at how well that's done.
Yeah.
And I started knocking on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can hear it.
And then I went, you know what? That's drywall.
Yeah.
And the hearth at the bottom, although it's not deep enough, is
Yeah.
solid brick. And then the vents that I saw that came off it, it hasn't been inspected.
Okay.
Okay, they light the one in the basement. The neighbor calls over and says, we have smoke, I smell smoke. So they're, you know, they stopped it right away. So what are we gonna do?
Aim chimney.
We're gonna bring a qualified person to check it.
Yes, we
Okay,
are.
so we're gonna check this one and the one downstairs. So lo and behold, as I'm looking at all this, look at this window. On the outside here, there's the downspout. There's a big hole in the concrete right in the corner there. They covered it up with bricks. We're gonna have to open this area first, and let's see how bad it is. I stuck my camera down, and I could see about 2-3 feet down,
Yeah.
easy. But I wanna open this first, right?
So what do you want to do? You want to get down to the footing here? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, let's go as far as he thinks he's gotta go. They have rags in here that stop the cold draft in the winter, right?
Look at that.
So I grabbed the rags, and they are
Soaked.
So what does this tell us?
I'm gonna need a new window, first of all.
Yes.
I'm also gonna have to tear off all the drywall.
Yes. Pull the drywall from approximately here, right down to the basement. Bring that down and continue that drywall cut I want to see there, and open this up here.
Okay.
I stuck my finger in the hole down there, wiped the back of the drywall.
Mold?
It was black. Yeah, it's mold.
Damn.
So gently take it off. Wear your mask and gloves.
Okay.
Let's bag it, but let's document it. I want to see pictures, okay? Here's our second fireplace here. Now, directly above this, you're gonna see in the living room that big bulkhead.
Yeah, I saw it.
That's a really big bulkhead.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt to punch a hole in the bulkhead just to do a visual. More than anything, I want to know if it's fire rated from this side to our neighbors, and just do a visual inspection. We can do that personally for ourselves, but we still want our fireplace guys to take a look at this one as well, okay? There was a permit pulled on this in 1958. This area here is where we actually have the hole in the ground, right here, right? And that hole in the ground, it did show some surface mold on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you know what I want you to do?
You want to pull this out?
I want you to pull this out.
I just thought it had great character. The potential of this house was phenomenal.
We have mold in the front of the house, we have mold in the side of the house. The basement has a lot of mold.
Yeah, I guess it is leaking in there. There's no sealant whatsoever of caulking at the glass, none.
I'm gonna need a new window, first of all.
Yes.
I'm also gonna have to tear off all the drywall.
Yes. That hole has been undermined. For whatever reason, somebody has broke this area, poured the concrete running downwards. Silly fools. But I want to open this first, right?
So what do you want to do? You want to get down to the footing here? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, let's go as far as he thinks he's got to go.
I have a fireplace downstairs. Somehow the neighbors think it's leaking into their apartment. They can smell smoke every time they start it. I need to know what's going on. I have Vince from AIM Chimney coming today. So I wanted this opened up right to about there, all the way down to the floor, okay? I have an issue with this window. This window is leaking water like you wouldn't believe. Okay, so what I want is this opened up right to the basement. So also, this is underneath the window, okay? So I want this opened up. I want this opened up right down to the floor. Mike stuck his finger in that hole yesterday. His finger was black, so we know there's mold. I want to know how much and how bad. As soon as you tore that drywall off, you can smell it. You couldn't smell it before. So we're right, there's mold. Okay, come on in here, guys. Now, I'm not gonna bring you all in, but this wall has been leaking. It's been molding, you can smell it. There's a vent back there. We don't know what's going on behind this. I want this whole cabinet out today.
What could possibly go wrong?
Ha! Wasn't me.
That's 7. 7 years of bad luck. What did I do to deserve that?
I could name a few things.
Oh, I'm at 21.
Really? That's...
Mike rightfully wants this down. This is what's been deteriorating from water. We want to know why. We want to know where it's coming in. And we want to get rid of the mold. Look at this. Everything is holding mold down here. There's a lot of moisture down here. It's a bathroom. I don't think there was that much moisture caused by this little bathroom. There's no shower in here. It's got to be coming from other sources. So I want to tear this down, take a look at it. Oh my God.
Holy...
We were wondering where the mold issue was coming from. I think we found it. We have a gaping hole in our foundation wall right here. 125-year-old house we're dealing with here. This old house is built by block on the back end here. And what they do is they use a structural beam. It's a wooden beam that they used to use that runs right through here. I have wood underground right now, which means it's soaked up moisture over the years, which means it's rotted out my structural support. Water was coming right down here. It was like a chute. This concrete was sloped into the house. It's like a chute right into this corner, and the water was going right in. How they didn't get a flood in that basement, I have no idea at this point. So what type of test did you do to figure out the level 1 mold?
What we started off with, and probably the most important part, is a good visual inspection of the area where the water damage occurred.
Yeah.
We took a look there to, and you can clearly see some rot on some of the wood framing. You can clearly see, little bits of mold growth on some of the little pieces of drywall that are left. And to confirm that there was mold growth present, we did a tape lift sample from the material that looked visually moldy. And essentially, we're just taking a piece of clear Scotch tape.
Yeah.
We're pressing that gently against the substrate that we think is moldy.
Yeah.
That gets placed on a piece of wax paper, sent to the lab. The lab lifts that off the wax paper, look at it through a microscope, and they can see what kind of structures are there. And the other thing we did was we ran an air sample. The results from that sample indicated that, you've got fairly high airborne spore concentration down there that are certainly indicative of mold growth or some disturbance during that tear out.
So which means what in terms of cleanup?
Well, I mean, essentially it means, the workers should ideally wear a suit and a respirator while they do the cleanup work.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need a specialized cleaning agent. The important thing is that you get the surface clean. So, detergent and water is going to be a very good thing to clean up all the hard surfaces.
Yeah.
And then cleaning up things like carpet or upholstered items, that sort of thing, with a HEPA filtered vacuum that's going to pick up that construction dust.
Yeah.
That's what's needed there.
Excellent. Just to be safe, we use a spray that not only cleans, but kills the mold as well. But unfortunately, the second air test showed very high levels of mold. I did have Pinch It come in. They did a couple of test holes in the rest of the basement. We have mold in the front of the house. We have mold in the side of the house. The basement has a lot of mold. So we have Alliance in here to do it properly. They're gonna get the whole thing cleaned out. They're gonna take out all the drywall, all the carpet, so that we get a positive air test so we can get in there and actually work. So they're gonna clean the furniture for us, and our guys are gonna remove it.
Oh my God, it's a fold-out bed. Holy crap. Okay. Put your end down. You stop pushing. Down. Up more room. Okay, gotta go up on its side. Be careful upstairs. No, not gonna go. How did this thing get in here? Let's flip it this way. No? I see it swing. Yeah, like swing it up like that. Keep going this way? No. There's no way to get it in and then turn it that way? No. Got it?
We started by cleaning the mold by first setting up the enclosure. And we do that just so we can monitor and keep all the dust inside of the area. The Alliance came in today and set up a level 3, which includes a double decon at the front door. First chamber, which is your clean chamber. Your second chamber would be where you bring out the contamination, you get changed. And the third is your actual work area where you'd remove the contaminated substrate, which in this case would be drywall, carpet. Mold can spread from contaminated area to a non-contaminated area. This is why we set up the poly walls and put it under negative air pressure to prevent spread.
After almost 2 weeks of remediation, all the mold is gone, and we have a clean air test from Pinch It Environmental. Now we can move on to the next problem, which is that hole in the foundation. Wow. Oh yeah. Hey, my own personal escape hatch.
we're looking for.
Holy.
This is what we tore down. You know, it took us 15, 20 minutes to tear down. It's going to take us days to fix.
All right, I'd like to hear what the engineer says. I'd like to see what everybody puts together on this one.
Okay.
The most important part for this place is this back wall,
Right.
The kind of parallel to the house itself, and then a return wall. These both have retained earth on both sides, and the retained earth and the moisture has just essentially given us that big rotten beam.
Right.
If it doesn't get replaced, it would have continued to rot until the whole thing was gone, like you've seen on the inside.
Right, and what happens then?
What happens if that timber rots out, then this entire side of the house sags, and it could be significant sagging to the point where it's not really inhabitable because things have dropped 6, 8, 10 inches. The other issue with that timber rotting out is that we end up with a foundation wall that has zero support laterally. It's never been designed for that, and suddenly it's retaining all of this earth at the back of this building. So the worst case scenario would be that this foundation wall would end up collapsing into the basement.
So basically you want us to use block, just doing solid block right up to the original structure, supporting it that way. What I'll do is I'll just do a support wall inside first with jack posts. I'll do a 2x6 header and just bring it right off the jack post, support that side and the bathroom side.
Yeah, we just talked about hopefully doing it in segments, just so that we don't have any part of the wall without kind of lateral
come
support.
down, right?
Yeah.
Sherry, myself, and Kate are putting in a support wall here so that when the bones start digging out outside, we can take some of the weight off the beam, relieve some of the lateral pressure from the dirt outside on the wall, and prevent anything from caving in, and also give us the room to work and support the house while we take out the rotten beam.
This is the pivotal point. This is where we move forward. I can get to this beam, the structural beam. Once I replace this, I can finish this house, what we originally came here for. I can have Collins guys waterproofing the outside once we get the block in. I can actually take this down, start restructuring the walls in here, start drywalling, you know, cleaning this up, insulating. It allows me to go forward on the whole job. Wow. That beam was supposed to support this house. The fact that I could take that out with my hand is nuts. Oh yeah.
We're sistering up these beams here, the old floor joists. Originally, they would have sat on the 7-inch wood beam that has since rotted out, and we're replacing it with the masonry. So we're going to sister them up with some new wood, just to help strengthen the rotted ends here. And then it'll tie that. That'll sit on the new masonry, which is then also holding in the top plate of the original upper 2 stories.
There used to be a block window here that somebody covered up over time. So we're gonna be blocking in this window well all the way up to the top, so the window isn't being in use anyways. And that way when we excavate for our waterproofing, we can have one continuous seal all the way down the wall.
So my issue is I have to fill in the old coal chute window and I have to fill in the window, right? But coal chute has gas lines running. I just need to know whether we can bury these lines, bring them through the concrete. Do we need a sleeve? Do I need to change these connections? I just need an answer on that.
What I'm gonna suggest at this point is we disconnect the gas. I'll get everything taken out. I'll cap the meter off.
Okay, we gotta do what we gotta do. I gotta bring this up to code. So if I'm burying this, we gotta do it properly.
Okay.
So far, just from a
a first glimpse. We've looked at the older chimney manufactured system here, and we've noticed some holes. And you can see here, between the rust and how weak it is, that this system is literally falling apart. Worst case scenario, this chimney could set the house on fire. This chimney system's not much better. This is for the main floor fireplace. When you're looking down, you'll see the roof decking is a little too close, doesn't have the proper 2-inch clearance, as well as there's all kinds of insulation. There's a little bit of weathering, there's possible smoke stains, there's definitely heat scorch. There's hundreds of chimney fires, hundreds of structure fires caused from chimneys, but they're all preventable. Here it comes.
Okay, boys, so you've told me there's nothing we can do to make this work. I can't use a gas insert, I can't bring the wood back unless I rebuild it and bring it back to wood, is that correct?
Yeah, so you don't want to put an insert inside a manufactured fireplace. They're not listed to go that way.
Yeah.
It's not an approved method. This system is too old. They don't make these actual components anymore. The only thing you can do is remove them and put it back new again.
Timber! There's too many things to bring this thing back to code to even make this work again. I mean, it's so much nicer just to, you know, take this down, give them something a little smaller. It'll open up this room, let more light in, and they'll still have a, you know, a nice living room. It'll look good in the winter. I mean, it'll still have a fireplace.
This fireplace it looked really nice when you first walked into the house, but it took up a lot of space in their living room, and it's really fun to bring down.
I now have to expose the neighbor's side and fix it. We're not only waterproofing at this point, I actually have to fix it because I can see the inside of her house as well. I'm a week into the job. I should be moving ahead. I'm still walking backwards. It's freaking me out a little bit.
The last thing they want to do is put in $100,000, $200,000 worth of work in the house that they did not expect.
What we're actually doing here is we're putting a temporary patch on this unit, but we're basically doing the exact same process there, except that'll be just permanently capped off. There's no new chimney coming up through that location. We'll be able to take this off later and then allow for the new pipe, new flashings. So just for the meantime, this will be capped off, you know, against the weather and such.
It's absolutely insane down here. We have electrical, we have plumbers, we have my guys. The only thing we're missing is Gary and the bros, which I don't think they'll fit. This is a 120-year-old home, and this is the problem with dealing with a 120-year-old home that's attached on both sides. With a foundation problem that's wood. I mean, I'm dealing with grade issues in the back. I'm trying to leave one side alone while dealing with our side, which I can't do at this point. I now have to expose the neighbor's side and fix it. We're not only waterproofing at this point, I actually have to fix it because I can see the inside of her house as well. Where am I running my gas to? I have a fireplace going in upstairs that's going to be gas at this point. Where do I run it into? I have the new gas line coming in at this direction here. I have to somehow route it that way. I'm trying to bring a laundry room into this area now. I have no drains. I'm gonna have to jack open the floors at this point. I have no drain by the furnace. The trades are working great with me right now. They're coming up with solutions. We're all trying to think right now, but I'm walking backwards. I'm a week into the job. I should be moving ahead. I'm still walking backwards. It's freaking me out a little bit. Oh my God, this is frustrating.
Damon, I'm assuming this was the AC line, right?
Yep, that's the AC line there.
Okay, did you guys notice the junction box up here?
I do now.
Well, look at this. Not even 2 feet away.
Oh man, you
We have
got
another junction
joking me.
box.
This is an old wire. The water damage has totally decayed this wire. It was sending power down to a plug that was in the hallway there. And just take a look at it. You can see with your own eyes. There's wood here, there's damage here, copper pipes here. Absolutely could start a fire.
I'm taking out the rest of this beam. I gotta go right to the corner of this house, so piece by piece, 4-foot section by 4-foot section. I mean, that's all I can take out. I can't try and take out a 20-foot beam. Right now, I'm just cutting it in sections. I'm gonna knock it out. Is that moving? Yeah. Doesn't feel like it. All right. Holy crap.
This is called non-shrink grout, and what we're doing with this stuff is we're placing it underneath the stringers and on top of the foundation block. And what it does is it carries the load so that our walls is properly supported on top of the foundation. We've wrapped the joist in plastic so that no water is going to get in. This stuff here bonds nice with the plastic and the block, and it dries just like steel.
Well, we're at waterproofing stage, which is great. It means I can backfill this. I can stop worrying about the back of this house. I now have to remove soil. By removing soil, I'm gonna bring down my grade. I cannot have snow and ice built up onto my wood. This is what caused the problem initially. This is why we're here. Foundation issues. I wanted a lower grade, probably maybe 8 inches from the top of this block down. Allows me to finish the outside. Lower grade means no ice and snow buildup that gets into the wood again, rots it, and gets me back here in a year.
It's scary to think that if Mike wasn't here and the crew wasn't here and Damon, then we'd be pretty screwed.
It's completely above and beyond what we even, in our wildest dreams, could have imagined had to be done to this house.
Crap loads of money this is gonna cost. Crap loads.
Crap loads is a lot.
Sarah!
Good to see you again.
Fred?
Hi.
How long have we had you out of this house?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Where you been staying?
Mom's couch.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
No problem.
It's okay.
You want to see the problems?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
I don't know if you want to hear about them, but come on in. Okay, we're just going to show you bit by bit so you don't have a heart attack all at once. Come on over here.
Walking in and seeing the first fireplace completely gone and that space empty, it's a lot to take in.
This isn't so much of a structural issue for the fireplace because it was fake brick. It was all about a fire hazard. Both fireplaces actually decommissioned, taken right out.
Knowing that it was unsafe, after you intake that information, it's better that they took it out completely and are gonna do it properly.
Now, the reason you've been out of this house for 4 weeks is because it started off with a little mold. As we started taking the bathroom out downstairs, got further into mold, we did more tests, the tests were failed. So we continued to take things down till they removed all the mold. There was definitely mold within here. We're gonna have to replace this window. This was all removed all the way down. Let's go downstairs, and we're still doing exploratory, which means you're still gonna be out of the house. This is gonna be a long haul.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
This is what I call a money pit that we all fell into, and there was no money on the bottom. None.
Okay.
We can see that this wall has had issues over the past. This is exactly where our void is out there. This is where we put in new cinder block. Picking up load, saving the foundation. This was all wood here and completely rotted out. Again, this was behind a wall, but remember, when I first came in, there was a hole in the bottom of the wall. What did I do?
Stuck your finger in there.
I went down, stuck my finger in, and wiped the back of the drywall. And when I pulled my finger out, what was on it?
It was black.
Okay, so right away, I know there's mold. The question is how much mold was here? This fireplace is right now inoperable, has been severed at this point right here, and will continue to sever it all the way up. Now, the main reason about both fireplaces, they were so built up with the creosote on the inside, I'm surprised it didn't burn the house down. But a home inspector coming in to take a look is not able to see all this. He's gonna look at a visual, and he's gonna hopefully tell you, get these fireplaces checked. You know, that's what I'm hoping he says. Did he say that, by the way?
No, I didn't say anything like that.
Okay, that really is a pain. Because that was really important. Get them checked. Now, really, generically, it is in the report, and this is what home inspectors do. They make sure you must read this report. Like, take a look at the report, whether or not it's full of crap or not. Read the report so you try and understand it. If you don't understand it, pick up the phone and go, "Hey, Joe, George, whatever your frickin' name is, explain this to me so I understand this." So you did have a major fire potential with both fireplaces. So I'm glad you didn't use them. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes. We've got it everything to do with the bathroom here, right? And this looks, again, this doesn't look that big. But when we opened it, there was wood structure. You see this new block here?
Yes.
This is all new block. There was wood structure that came across to the corner here, and I'll show you outside what we had to do. We actually had to dig right down here, and this turned into a catastrophe, to be honest with you. That downspout went into the ground, okay? And I collected all the water from all the rain and rotted out the structure on this side of the house. So we had to bring in our foundation guys, and you'll see it from the outside. Remove the beam, get permits, reinforce all this so we could not lift the house, but hold the house to reinforce the cinder block wall to carry it up. So structurally, this has been a disaster, having everyone in here trying to determine, engineers, what we can do with this. What happened here affected your neighbor. We had to structurally fix your neighbor's side as well. To this point, right up to about here, both houses, there was a problem with them. We had to call them out. Look, we've got problems here. We've got to solve this problem.
We thought it was cosmetic. We didn't know that there was going to be these huge issues that some they may not even found yet.
Well, they told us it was a solid house. The inspector
Yeah, I mean, the inspector actually went so far as to
house.
say it's a good house. Not to say that there may even be problems. This is a good house to start in. And that's it's a little annoying at this point.
Thank you.
Okay. You're good? Okay, Damon, he knows how to get down here. Okay, picture this. This was grade right here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Now you can even see just how bad all this is. Yeah, grade was right up, covering the bottom. So all of this had to be restructured. This hole was dug down. Once we came in, now we have problems with the neighbor. We had to fix the neighbor's side. This all started with a hole in the ground that was covered by 2 bricks that the inspector didn't touch.
The amount of work that has been done already and the amount of work that sounds like still has to be done, it's scary. The president of the company came back since we had problems. We said, "You didn't do it right, you missed this hole," and the president came back for a 3rd time. And that's not our issue. As Mike explained it, it's a money pit and there's no money at the bottom of the pit. You know, it's just, we're trying to find that ladder to get out. So it's kind of, you know, but at the same time, to have Mike and Damon here and the crew.
I think what he didn't say was that he's providing that ladder for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all helping us out, and we can't imagine them not being here now.
You're gonna be home. Let's go get a coffee. Please.
Okay.
Or water. Yeah. Or a pop.
Or like a
beer.
glass of wine.
Yeah. All right.
We thought we did everything to protect ourselves in this house, and still the problems is just problem after problem after problem, and it's hard. It's hard because it's scary because it's supposed to be our first home, and to see it like this, and to see, like, I feel a little bit dumb. Like, I feel like we really got duped on this house, and it's just, yeah, it's just hard.
Let's just say a box, gas insert, it comes up, and then another box.
Now that we're actually seeing movement, seeing progress, it's definitely exciting. It's definitely, you know, a good feeling to know, okay, well, we have the right people on the job. I
want to run a drainage pipe underneath in the center and create a cove that the water comes to and feed it into this.
I'd say that's not connected.
Oh, crap, where does that go?
Oh, no! You gotta be joking. Oh, yay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I found a quarter. This house is paying off.
I'm not your father.
Oh, this suit is driving me freaking nuts.
Yep.
This was the right fireplace to take down, right?
I certainly hope so.
Oh yeah. This all started with a hole in the ground that was covered by 2 bricks that the inspector didn't touch.
It's scary to think that if Mike wasn't here and the crew wasn't here and Damon, then we we'd be pretty screwed.
I'd say that's not connected. Oh, crap, where does that go? Oh, no! You gotta be joking me. Oh, yay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This is part 2 of a story about a house that's got a whole lot of problems. Hello.
Hi, I'm Sara.
Sarah, I'm Mike. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Fred.
Fred, pleasure to meet you. This is such a charming neighborhood.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
great.
we
I
love
really,
it.
really like this. Can I come in?
Yeah, come on in.
Absolutely.
Fred and Sarah bought their first home downtown in a nice neighborhood. Charming, historical, and it's gorgeous.
The potential of this house was phenomenal, and I knew that we could really make it our home and we could start our family here, and that was a big deal for me.
They even paid extra for a walkthrough with the original home inspector, and they paid extra for a roof inspection and a termite inspection.
The previous owners did have the house inspected, but we were able to pay for a walkthrough. At the end of the day, we were told this was a solid house. It was in good shape. It was gonna last for, years to come.
After they moved in, Fred and Sarah noticed they have some problems.
We're cleaning out the air conditioner, which was just filled with leaves and dirt. So I was using the hose, and the amount of water we were using was not accounted for on the ground. And then we found a pile of bricks.
So the bricks were like this, yes?
They were stacked up. I put that plastic bag just to help a little bit. I moved them and found a hole in the cement, which you could see visibly that the foundation was damaged through this hole.
So we called the inspection company back, and we told them the situation, and we felt that this was something that they should have found the hole. I mean, it's a hole.
The inspectors basically said, oh, there was something there, so we couldn't see it. It's not our problem.
If they moved the bricks, there's a hole here. When you have a hole that's direct to the side of your foundation and you have a concrete pad that runs towards that hole, it fills up. Oh, that really goes deep. And with my camera showing all kinds of debris and all stuff that's fallen down there, and actually my camera went down pretty deep, where the hell's that water going? This area here is where we actually have the hole in the ground, right here, right? And that hole in the ground it did show some surface mold on the bottom.
Yeah.
So you know what I want you to do?
You want to pull this out?
I want you to pull this out.
Mike rightfully wants this down. This is what's been deteriorating from water. We want to know why. We want to know where it's coming in.
We found out exactly where, and that became one huge problem.
We were wondering where the mold issue was coming from. I think we found it. We have a gaping hole in our foundation wall right here. This is what we tore down. It took us 15, 20 minutes to tear down. It's going to take us days to fix.
All right, I'd like to hear what the engineer says. I'd like to see what everybody puts together on this one.
Okay.
If it doesn't get replaced, it would have continued to rot. Then we end up with a foundation wall that has zero support laterally. So the worst case scenario would be that this foundation wall would end up collapsing into the basement. The other issue is that this entire side of the house sags, and it could be significant sagging to the point where it's not really inhabitable because things have dropped 6, 8, 10 inches.
If that wasn't bad enough, we also discovered mold in the downstairs bathroom when we started to pull it apart. We called in Alliance, and they did a level 3 remediation.
The basement basically has to be gutted. We also found mold up in the bathroom. We found mold on the main floor. So it's basically throughout this whole house. Right now, I can't continue without them cleaning it out. I need a safe environment for my workers as well as the homeowners who live here.
After about 2 weeks of mold remediation, cleaning, we could finally get back to doing what we're supposed to do. That's the foundation.
It is the pivotal point. This is where we move forward. I can get to this beam, the structural beam. Once I replace this, I can finish this house, what we originally came here for. I can have colors, guys, waterproofing the outside once we get the block in, start restructuring the walls in here, start drywalling, cleaning this up, insulating. It allows me to go forward on the whole job. Holy crap.
These were the big issues, but they're not the only ones. We still have 2 fireplaces that we have to deal with.
We actually heard from our neighbors about having issues with her fireplace, and so it kind of did make us nervous.
Okay, so normally what we do, and it is in the report, by the way, is to have a fireplace specialist come in and take a look and make sure that it's usable, it's safe before you light a fire. And that's exactly what we did. AIM Chimney guys came in and did a full inspection.
Well, so far, just from a first glimpse, we've looked at the older chimney manufactured system here, between the rust and how weak it is, but this system is literally falling apart. Worst case scenario, this chimney could set the house on fire. Here it comes.
Both fireplaces were too old to repair. We had to take them out.
1, 2, 3. Go.
Last but not least, the big leaky window. Okay, that's an extremely wet rag. More than likely, it's leaking under there, which has now the possibility of mold in here, and that's just one spot right here. The mold, number 1 spots, windows, bottom, doors. Finally, after 4 weeks, we brought Fred and Sara home to show them the damage from all the problems.
It's overwhelming, the amount of work that has been done already and the amount of work that sounds like still has to be done. It's scary.
We've got it everything to do with the bathroom, right? And this looks, again, this doesn't look that big. But when we opened it, there was wood structure. See this new block here?
Yes.
This is all new block. We actually had to dig right down here, and this turned into a catastrophe, to be honest with you. That downspout went into the ground, okay? And I collected all the water from all the rain and rotted out the structure on this side of the house. So we had to bring in our foundation guys, remove the beam, get permits, reinforce all this so we could lift that, not lift the house, but hold the house to reinforce the cinder block wall to carry it up. So structurally, this has been a disaster, having everyone in here trying to determine engineers what we can do with this. What happened here affected your neighbor. We had to structurally fix your neighbor's side as well. To this point, right up to about here, both houses, there was a problem with them. We had to call them out. Look, we've got problems here. We've got to solve this problem.
We thought we did everything to protect ourselves in this house, and still, the problems, there's just problem after problem after problem, and it's hard.
Let's just say a box, gas insert, it comes up, and then another box.
They couldn't do 1 solid window, so he's doing it in 2.
Yep. I want to run a drainage pipe underneath in the center and create a cove that the water comes to and feed it into this.
Okay.
Hey, you're doing a good job.
Thank you very much.
Real
Thanks
good
for
job.
helping me out here.
Another month? The one in the basement, I'm going to encourage that we keep it and turn it into a candle zone.
They want us to do whatever's easier. They feel so bad that we're even dealing with this.
Oh, see now.
And I feel bad about that. I keep telling them, don't worry, this is our job.
Yeah, well, we can't do that neither. They're worried that we're spending so much money and we're trying to help them. You know what, I don't want them to think that we're not going to do it.
Yeah, so I'll work with Joey on that and we'll see if we can get them an electric in there, okay? We're probably gonna be up about maybe 5 feet here, I'm thinking. So you're gonna build a box here. We're then let AIM Chimney come in the day after. They're gonna run their pipe up. We're gonna run the chase up the back for the fireplace, the exhaust. And then we're gonna build a little box there after, letting in as much light as possible. Okay. I also want you to restructure the stairs, okay? You're gonna bring structure right onto the block. You can give it a header if you want, okay? But I want it totally restructured down to solid concrete, okay? Right to the block. That should be enough for you guys. Doesn't look like it from here, but that's a lot of work. Also, I'll have the electricians here and the plumbers here as well. Now, Fred and Sara love the fireplaces, so instead of taking the one in the basement out, let's just give them a new electric insert. We can get electrical to this. It means be more work for me. Why don't we just order one? Why don't we get the size, order one, get the ampage on it so he knows what he's dealing with, and then he can run it in. We'll get it in no matter what.
Because generally they run on regular household amperage, so if it's a Pong outlet, all he has to do is put a receptacle in there.
If you can get the line in, I don't care if I have to rip this apart to get it in, so I want to give it to them, might as well just do it.
Good stuff.
We're putting in hurricane ties to satisfy the structural requirements of the engineer who did engineer both the block wall as well as the supporting wall underneath. And this will help stabilize the existing floor joists to keep them straight, keep them bolted together.
Considering the water penetration through the foundation wall and obviously a waterproofing problem, it is critical to do camera inspection of the sanitary line and storm line. In this case, we only have one line combined, which takes storm and sanitary. But the key thing here is to make sure that that line is in a good working order, so we are able to take the rainwater and any water that accumulates on the outside and take that away properly through the drainage system.
Okay, what did we find out here? What is this? We have a drain.
We got a drain that I scoped. It takes me over to the other side of the house.
To here, to clean
yes,
out?
Where I tie in. There's actually a trap, but that trap is below 4-foot mark, so it's below the freezing point.
Good.
So thank God.
Now I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. I need to control water because everything runs this way.
Yeah.
We've gone to all this work, and obviously I cannot bring that, cement up to this height. So we're gonna have a step down here. We're gonna bench it in here. Here's what I wanna do. I want to run a drainage pipe underneath in the center and create a cove that the water comes to and feed it into this. Can I do that?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Then you just solved all my problems.
Today is a huge freaking day. We have AIM Chimney in here. They have to run out their venting by 4 o'clock. I have spray foam coming at end of day, 4 o'clock. Everyone is now rushing to get as much work done as possible today so I can get that spray foam so I can actually close it off. I have Dominic here from Trimbo Windows who's putting in a new window for us, which is gonna be great. And last but not least, we have Solutions Electric here today. Everyone's working together to get things done here because we are in a race for time. We need to get things done and get these people back into their house.
You don't know what you're gonna come across when you take these windows out. Things are crooked. Like here, there was like 3 layers of siding on here, rotted sill. Well, you get that on the newer homes too. Yeah, it's more everything's crooked, like very crooked in these older homes.
Need help inside, Ryan?
Oh, good.
The old fireplace was wood burning. Being but 35 years old, its time had come. Now we're gonna put in a nice gas unit, high efficient. All it's gonna do is take the remote control, flick a switch, instant flame.
Yeah. Give me this.
Beautiful.
Good.
It's completely above and beyond what we even, in our wildest dreams, could have imagined had to be done to this house.
Okay, crap loads of money this is going to cost. Crap loads.
Crap loads is a lot. So Joe, I've been playing with the idea of removing this. This is blocking so much light. I'm bringing the fireplace back to almost what it was before, and I want to let more light into this. So, you know what that means? I'm going to lose this.
No problem.
Okay, so do what you got to do to pull the electrical, and then I'll start tearing it apart.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
How many times can you splice a wire?
There's going to be a laundry room here, so there's a lot of plumbing to do. Most of the copper here actually needs attention, so we're running new packs and we're roughing in for a new laundry tub, which is going to be installed here. The guys will also prepare the floor drain area for us so we can run a new 4-inch PVC floor drain so that it's close to the hot water tank and the furnace. So we're going to bring it up to the current code requirements and make it all plumbing perfect.
gonna start taking this down, okay? This is our only chance. Now that everyone's moved out of the way, we have about an hour to get this down. Okay, this is blocking off all natural light coming in this way. So why don't you guys pick a side, start on this, and then we're gonna call everyone up at the end of the day when all the trades are gone, and we're gonna lift this floor. I don't know what kind of sentimental value they have to these things, but take care of them, put them upstairs, wrap them in something, mark it so they know what it is, okay? So after we tore out the closet and the old fireplace, we had big patches of flooring that I can't match. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rip out the old flooring, we're gonna put down a new engineered hardwood, and use tile along the front of the house.
We're using Wall-Type Eco. Yeah. So it's a little more environmentally friendly, zero ODP, and a little more recycled content in it. Yeah. That's what people are looking for, a little more green.
The main gas fireplace installation is complete, so Steve can finish all the flashing work to make sure the new chimney stack is waterproof. Even though Fred and Sarah had a roof inspection, I asked Steve to take a look and see what kind of shape it's in. So the inspector said 10 years, 10 to 15 years, I think he said.
And that'd be a push. I'd say, like, realistically, maybe more like 5 to 10. But then again, the roof's older, so it's in that age of needing some maintenance.
Yeah.
So with life left in the roof, it's better to maintain it now and then replace the roof when the life of the product is close to finished.
Yeah.
Versus that would be too premature to do now.
Okay, good. That's good. Good news. Thanks, man.
See ya.
We're using a flex line from inside the basement to run our gas line to our fireplace. A lot easier to work with. You can, less connections, one connection right here, one downstairs. It's very flexible. You can bend this right to a 90-degree tight and doesn't kink or anything. So it's getting a lot more popular to use this type of flex connection.
So hold the house up, call me Sara.
I got it.
Put this to the side. There you go. Now the reason for tearing off the drywall in the ceiling, first of all, it had mold. I'm not gonna tear down just a little bit. We tore down all of it so I can now level the whole ceiling.
The less you put on, the faster it dries, and the faster you can get the job done. A lot of guys they'll cake it on and they'll leave it caked on, and they'll sand half that product off. It's not what we're doing. We're trying to put it on, and we're trying not to sand it. It's basically the whole trick to this. A lot of people think this is a chore, but this is an art. If you can put it on tight and enjoy it, you'll do a better job.
I want you to take the brick off from here down, okay? I want to keep the brick from here on up. We're going to reuse the mantle that they had on the original fireplace. Whoa!
It's hard enough right now. I mean, we're just starting out. We bought this house, which was a lot of money for us, and now That's another shocking thing is the how much money is actually having to be put into this house after we already paid so much for the house.
This is actually my first tile job by myself, so kind of excited to actually lay a whole floor instead of being the person that goes and does all the cuts and back butters. So, looks pretty good so far.
Just the wave of the future. This is what the Europeans have been using for years, and we've just been getting on the bandwagon. It doesn't need to be glued or screwed in the middle to keep it down because you have a 1/4-inch wear layer. The next layer is actually white oak as well, but it runs perpendicular to the top layer. And you can see the bottom layer, also white oak, runs this way.
Right.
So this is laminated together or engineered together, whatever you want to call it, which keeps it stable.
You know what? It's a beautiful floor. It's really durable. It works well in this room, and it's going to tie into everything.
We removed the previous finish that was on here because we want to match the stain to the hardwood that's gone in. After we scraped the finish off, we sanded it, made sure the finish was completely removed. Then we conditioned it with water. Water just allows the grains to open. So we're trying to get this stain as dark as possible to match the hardwood, which is a very dark wood. So by conditioning it, allowing the stain to really penetrate, it's going to match the hardwood that's gone in. I generally just kind of wipe in circles, make sure it's penetrating into the grain, and give a final wipe with the grain to just kind of even out the stain and make sure it's blended completely.
What I want to do, we're going to reuse the mantle. The one that was upstairs, I want to bring back down here just because they fell in love with that fireplace upstairs. It's now gone. We gave them a new one, but I'm going to keep the brick, give them their old mantle back, and we've sort of shifted that fireplace upstairs and brought it down here for them. Turn it on.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice job, guys. Last job of a long, long day is get this down so I can actually get some tiles laid on this floor by tomorrow. If I don't do this by the end of the day, people walk on it, dent it in. I need to do this kind of stuff at the end of the day. This is the vision I did see with this room. When I first came in here and I saw this bulking closet, it was just a closet, but it took so much from this room. This room was very dingy. It had a lot of potential, and I think that's what they saw when they first bought the house. When they first came in here, I think they saw potential, and that's what I saw when I came in here. So this is realizing this house's potential right here. I can take it to me a bit. How's that? Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Little bumps? Oh, just on your side. My side was perfect. Ready for tile, I love it. Oh, look at that, it's roots. I am out of here.
The last thing they want to do is put in $100,000, $200,000 worth of work in the house that they did not expect.
Now that we're actually seeing movement, seeing progress, it's definitely exciting. It's definitely, you know, a good feeling to know, okay, well, we have the right people on the job.
When you put the water into the container,
If you were to put the powder in first, because the bucket's round, it would stick into the corners, and you'd always have powder in your mix. So if you put water in, when you dump the mortar into the container, it won't stick to the sides, and that way we get a nice smooth mix and doesn't have any dust or rock or powder in it, right?
I actually really enjoy doing tiles. It's fun to do something different because we've done a lot of framing and baseboard and stuff, and it's cool to learn something new. Doing tile, you get to see right away what you've done, and it's cool to look at something. It's a big part of the floor, I think, and everyone's going to notice it. It's the first thing you step on when you walk in the door. I like it.
We're using solid granite on the fireplace facing. Granite is 100% natural stone, and because of this, any heat from the fireplace is dissipated quickly. And that means there is a minimal expansion or contraction. When I say the job keeps going and, you know, creating more and more issues, this is it. Even the finish part. I can't go with a cheap baseboard in a room when I have a, you know, a beautiful finished floor, beautiful finished tile, high ceilings. This is an old place, and this is sort of representing the rest of the house. I mean, the rest of the house has huge casing, huge baseboard everywhere else. I wanted to bring it back to what it was. You can start your drain tomorrow, get it roughed in, tie it in here. We'll help you dig it back. Okay. Okay, and we're not going to use just a regular drain here. We're going to use a trough drain.
That's correct. I'll measure the distance that will be suitable for this area, and I'll try to pick something, you know, the largest possible size that can scoop as much or absorb as much water as possible.
Yeah, because we're almost 20 feet here, right? Yeah. You want as big a one as possible. Okay, so Corey, what's your idea for the step down here? Because I know we have to bench this. We actually have to do almost an underpinning under this slab, right? Because we don't want to undermine it.
Well, what I was thinking is that we can pour a curb about 12 inches thick.
Yeah.
That way it'll take care of the corner of this new addition.
Like a bench wall.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll tie into the existing foundation.
Right.
We'll use a concrete vibrator.
Yeah.
And we can actually vibrate the concrete right into all those crevices.
Oh, that's great. It'll actually seep right in there and clog every single hole. I love it. Thank you.
Up for it. Make it happen.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
So right now I have Kate and Carl installing all the framing to support the siding on the outside of the house. It now allows Steve to add his siding and finish off the outside at this point. Better. And now Steve can replace the damaged downspout and feed it back into the new drainage system. So this is great for tight spaces, isn't it?
Yes,
it's a small little air conditioner.
It's made for tighter areas where you need to get around things where you don't want to block areas.
Right, because if we put a regular size air conditioner in here, how are we going to have access back here, right? It's not going to be a lot of access, but it's like a utility area.
Yep.
I've been a contortionist for these last couple of tiles. I tiled myself into a corner, not really planning this out properly, and unfortunately that made it a lot more work for me to work myself out and finish my tiles at the end of the day because I have to grout for Monday. But it's going well, kind of. Just a little painful. Hold on.
So here we are, the final stages before giving the house back to Sara and Fred. I removed some baseboard in the basement so the carpet guys can come in. What did I find? Another freaking problem. So as I'm expecting it further, it looks like there's so much moisture in here that it's actually rotted out my bottom plate, which makes me very nervous because this is absolutely soaked. That's wood. You think you've seen everything. I've never seen like a mattress foam inside a wall before. I have no idea what this is for, whether it was to soak up the water to begin with. Oh, man. I think this is the main stack for our house. So everything is draining into this thing, and obviously we have a major leak here. I do not know why I don't see any more signs of water outside. Really, I should have seen leaching water here because this is a pretty significant leak. The biggest issue is that it's unsanitary. This is wastewater. We're talking toilet water, shower water, anything that goes down a drain in this house is leaking into this wall.
Oh man, look at that!
Here, I pull off a bit of baseboard. I see a little bit of mold. What did I do? I just pulled it a little bit. You know what came with it? Half of the sill plate.
Oh my God.
So this is the only reason I found this. We had no idea there was a leak. There was no staining on the concrete. And, you know, as soon as I started pulling out insulation and smelling it, I knew that I was, you know, elbow deep into it.
And again, it's not even glued, but also it's so short.
Yeah.
What we're gonna have to do is open up a little bit more and then find out. We're not gonna create so much damage here, just to, you know.
You just want to see
give me a little bit more opening so I can find out where this thing takes me.
I'd say that's not connected. I shouldn't be able to do this. Oh, crap, where does that go? Oh, no! You gotta be joking me. I just want to take this off, man, and just see where it goes.
Taking the whole thing off?
Well, I just want to see where this ends. I'm trying to not spill any more sewage in this place. I know why we didn't see any moisture on the concrete. What was happening is enough of it was coming down this pipe and holding it. It was probably bellied, and nothing was coming out that end. So whatever little was coming out here, it was just soaking into the insulation, the wood, and that's why there was no staining out here. And if I didn't find this before carpet, my God, we wouldn't be worrying about mold anymore. We'd be worrying about disease.
Yeah.
You know what I want here?
Yeah.
I want this wall down.
Reframe it?
It looks like we're reframing anyway. Okay.
Great way to start the weekend.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, this is what plumbing is all about.
You got a mask for me too?
No. No, you're a first-year apprentice. You don't get one.
It's everywhere. Okay, go.
Aw, are you a girl?
Yes, I am. Well, it was a hell of a day, and it was a hell of a job. It's one of those jobs that I actually have to go back to my list and actually realize what we were here for in the first place, because you just get lost. We've done so much here. We've been here so long at this point. Just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel today, it meant a lot. We've been here a long time. I think the neighbors are getting frustrated. I think we're a little frustrated. You know, it's nice to finally give this place back. We've been working really hard on it. Everyone's been working really hard on it. It looks beautiful. I'm really happy with this one. It's really happy, and these people deserve it. So when they come in, I see that smile. That's what it's all about. I'm looking forward to it.
There's two reasons we prime, one for adhesion and one for sealing. So we're going to see all the drywall patches here, and we're going over latex paint. So we're not trying to gain adhesion. So we're just going to spot prime the issues, paint the whole wall. Now, if we're going over oil, in that case, we would prime for adhesion. But in this case, we don't have to. Some people think you need to cover a color first with primer and then paint it. The reality is paint covers color better than primer does.
Give me 1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour. I said
1
5.
hour?
Don't ask him. 1 hour.
You're the witness. You're the witness.
1 hour.
1 hour.
I'm only as strong as, you know, my team, right?
That's right. All right, 1 hour.
Okay.
1 hour.
Get it in.
Hurry up, I gotta wash my clothes.
Ready, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, baby. What does energy efficient mean? Heavy?
Energy efficient means heavy.
Hey, MJ and Adam. Tell me why again you guys aren't doing this?
You didn't ask me.
That is one heavy mama. That's one of the heavier washing machines I've ever lifted, I think. Okay. Oh, I'm glad that little adventure's over.
No, really, we still gotta plug them in, no?
By putting in the new fireplace, it actually opens up one side of the stairs. And by code, I now have to put up a railing.
I'll cut the posts in, mount my posts, then I can raise my rails and I'll fill in the pickets afterwards. So the last thing you do is put the pickets in. These I'm just marking level to match with the posts. I'll cut them on the saw and then I can glue and nail them in. Glue being the secret sauce. That's where all the strength comes from, the glue.
We pre-stained all these posts just in the hope that there wouldn't be a lot of touch-ups, but once they put a little hole in like that to fill it, drill it out, what I had to do was sand the whole thing down so the stain would take evenly again and restain it. If you just touch it up, it's not going to blend. You're safer just to sand the whole thing down, redo it. It'll be much easier. It's the same with the tread. If you have an issue on the tread, just resand it, redo it.
This is sort of like the last piece of the puzzle to support these stairs. So we've actually had some brackets made, and I'm just going to drive some 5-inch bolts through the plates just to help support this. Because there's nothing supporting these stairs. These stairs should have been brought to the landing. They weren't. So this is going to help support everything.
I never noticed how low that door handle was.
Yeah, they were short in the old days.
And when they get taller as the next generation comes in here. You know what? That looks really good.
You like it?
Wow, what a difference how open this is. Like, you know, that was a good choice to take this down. So we got downstairs complete, laundry room.
Yep.
And set up for a future bathroom.
Absolutely. Drains in, concrete, foundation is obviously done, otherwise we wouldn't be here today. The big reasons why we're here are all taken care of, plus a million other things.
I wouldn't mind taking a look at downstairs just to see what it looks like before we bring them in. I know they're excited to see it. I like the rails.
Yeah.
Now that's what I want to see. That's it. I like the way they did the brackets. Whose idea was this?
I worked with Andrew on it. I told him what I wanted. He designed it, sent it over to the fabricator. He fabricated it, we put it in.
Damn, it even looks good down here.
Yeah, we made it look really nice down here compared to what it was, you remember, obviously,
Yeah.
so.
Very good, Damon. You know what? Let's not waste time. Let's go get them.
All right.
Good
We're
job.
excited.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Damon felt rather in a good mood. He sort of took a lot down. He took down this closet that was here.
The red wall.
The red wall is gone. I can't even believe it.
Well, this all started with the first look of the fireplace, didn't it? You know, and I liked the look of the fireplace. I liked the opportunity. It's a good thing, really, that it didn't burn the houses down. But it led to many things, like a new flooring. Chris is incredible with his flooring. He just made it tie right back in and make it look like it's still old, but it's still new.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
New tiled front.
It looks amazing.
It's beautiful. Oh my God.
You guys like read our minds when we thought what we were gonna do with this place. You literally read our minds. Like, I can't even believe it.
And that was an accident.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to go this far. Yeah, but I mean, if you can read minds, then we know we're doing something right.
Part of our job, we have to sort of read minds, right?
How do you like the color?
Oh,
it's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Damon picked the color.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He's sort of becoming a designer guy, isn't he?
Oh, you said it. You went and said it.
Oh, wow.
I don't quite feel like this is real.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel like I'm dreaming right now.
Oh, come on over here.
Oh my God.
After taking all of this down, everything, the hearth, you name it, completely done, completely rebuilt. Damon's got this little bit of a sculpture that I kind of like it, the T-look at the top. And what it does is just makes it nice and big and bold.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh.
The work in the backyard, which was really almost as much, if not more, than this area in itself, was the structure, restructuring the house from the rot, from the water penetration to bringing in and moving all the electrical, moving the gas lines, moving a brand new air conditioner is also installed in the back. So you can see through this beautiful window. Why don't you take a look at this window? Go on.
It's all glass?
Yep, now you can take a look outside. Look at that.
I can't even speak. Oh my gosh, my heart is just pounding.
You remember this area was all opened up?
Yep.
Your basement was practically
I'm
gutted.
gonna take my shoes off.
Brand new carpet.
It's so cushy. Oh.
So the big fight about the fireplace down here was, do we take it all down, you know, and get rid of it completely? And it kind of looked really good to have your couch down here. So we thought about this, and I said, can we install an electric fireplace? Damon looked into it, exactly what you have. Actually, what I like about it is that the mantle that was upstairs was saved, brought down. So we do have something left from the original fireplace.
I wanted to leave that as part of the original house that you guys could actually remember what it looked like before. You probably don't want to remember, but it's part of the original house that you guys bought.
Amazing.
That was so thoughtful. That was really nice. Oh my God!
Damon is such a good guy, actually.
That was unexpected.
Look at this has been totally restructured, bringing in the the Bowens and continuing the foundation upwards.
Every trade in here did a lot of work, and I think we almost drove them into the ground.
Two thumbs up to these guys.
Absolutely.
Because even my
Can't do
daughter, she says, I'm tired, Dad. I'm tired.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, this is bananas. Like I want to play with them.
Isn't that funny, eh? All the work that was done in here, and what did you get into? The washer and dryer. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
We're here all the time.
And I hope you enjoy it. Now you just get your furniture, set it up.
You read our minds, like literally. Like we planned on doing this eventually, and we had no idea you were going to go this far, but this is exactly what we wanted to do to this house.
It's what you envisioned when you first bought it.
Yeah.
And we didn't kidnap your furniture. It's coming tomorrow. We have it in a cube van. It's coming back. There's no ransom note or anything.
I'm so thankful for that. I don't know if I could ever repay the crew, the people that they've had in to do the work, Mike, Damon, everybody. I don't know how I could possibly thank them enough. Thank you so much.
No worries. Enjoy your home.
I really, really, really appreciate you guys and what you've done for us. And I'm gonna stop talking now.
You deserve it. I always say, get what you give, so you've done something right in your life. And I like helping good people.
Thank you.
So does he. Very good people.
Could you pass me something to clean this with?
Yeah, I'll get you something as soon as you help me with the washer and dryer. Oh, wait! I've already done it!
I would have gladly done those. He was afraid. Too strong. Don't tell him I said that. It was a joke. Delete it. Delete it.